evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Hey Sister. Hey Sister, how you doing?
Well, hello, sister. I'm doing fabulous. Sure do miss you being out here in Arizona.
Yes, well, I miss being there with you, but soon enough we shall gather again. How about that?
Amen and hallelujah.
Amen and hallelujah to that. Well, folks, we thank you for tuning in tonight. Let us know where you're watching from, and we want you to join the conversation in the comments tonight. We're looking forward to this episode where we will be having a conversation with our very own mother. That's going to be interesting. We also want you to like, follow, share, subscribe, tell everybody you know about Hey Sister. And so if you are tuning in, let us know where you're tuning in from as we get prepared to start our conversation this evening. Oh, sister, sister, sister. You know, in typical Hey Sister fashion, we got to start off with some hot topics, right?
Yes, well, when you live in the United States of America, there is always a topic that is hot.
For sure. We listen. So let's talk about Mad Madge to get this thing going off. Because
I like that, Mad Madge.
Mad Madge, one Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's a congresswoman elected from kind of the northwest corner of the state of Georgia.
I love how people from Florida and Georgia like to be real specific about what corner of Georgia she
From right up there where Rome, Georgia is. Listen, so despicable human being is certainly one word that I would use to categorize her, but she's in the news once again because she's trying to make news. So it's been reported how she's been trying to, she wants to debate Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, otherwise known as AOC. She wants to debate her. She's trying to goad her. She is harassing her, going outside of her office. But footage has come to light that this is something that she also did before she was even in Congress. We saw the footage when she was doing this to one of the survivors of Parkland, when she was goading and chiding and harassing and wanting to debate. No, you don't want to debate. You want to argue. You want a fight. And that's two different things. And, you know, Mad Madge is on a mission to just show us how low people can go. Clearly, because what other motivation can you have? You have no committee assignment, so you have no work to do. I'm just waiting for, she wants to goad this young woman into an altercation so then she can play victim. So then she can feign, oh, I've fallen. Because we've seen so many of these people. We've seen them in the Walmart videos. We've seen them at the CVS's in the grocery stores. What?
We saw Amy Cooper in Central Park. And there was another lady. She didn't get as much popularity just recently. This young black girl dropped her iPhone charger or something like that, and then the woman picked it up and was like refusing to give it back and insisted that she had to prove to her that it was hers, but then called 911 to ask for the police to come because they were threatening her life and trying to beat her up. And it was like, none of that is happening. Like, we're videotaping it. That is not happening. So yes, it is. We have seen this behavior before.
Oh no, we've seen that behavior. Margaret Taylor is one of those who is like, oh, and she is gonna get twisted teed. That's who she is. She is one of those who like, I do what I want to do. I can do whatever. I can say whatever. And all it's gonna take is the right one on the right day, and she will be twisted teed. Period.
Yes. Well, all I'm going to say is if the universe should make it such that she is twisted teed, I am going to be here for it. all of it. Because as you said, she's trying to go AOC into an argument, into not, I wouldn't even call it a debate. It is definitely in this vein of, I am going to tell you all the things that I want to tell you. I'm going to harass you. I am going to throw out these accusations and falsehoods. And then if you say anything back to me, then it's going to be like, oh, shock and awe. I can't believe, did she say that to me? Then she's going to be the victim. Girl, nobody is falling for that. But the young man from Parkland would have been well within his rights to turn around and get in your face. And if you had touched him and he laid you out, he would have been well within his rights, because he is a minor and you are an adult and you were harassing him. He may have been over the age of 18 at the time, so let me be very clear. But still, you followed him. And so, but she's not crazy. She's not all the way crazy, because I noticed some people that she hasn't done that to.
Well, hallelujah. Speak on it, sister.
I mean, that the squad consists of a few others.
Mm-hmm.
And you picked who you thought you could intimidate and harass. And
well, she has harassed. So let's get the record straight. She has harassed Rashida Tlaib. She has done some harassing things to Ilhan Omar as well.
Yeah, but online
absent
is
Ayanna Pressley. We just gonna leave it right there. Y'all can make of it what you want to make of it. But I also know this. She might want to leave Rashida Tlaib alone too, because I done seen. Yeah, she might want to leave her. As a matter of fact, why don't you leave them all alone and go find some work to do so you can represent your people? Because you can't even represent your people in Congress because you have no committee assignments. You can't even bring the voice of your people to the floor and work on legislation because you have nothing better to do.
She has something better to do. She's hanging out with old Matt, and they are on their America First tour, which I just want all the people who were on the Donald Trump tour circuit. Now, if y'all gonna do this tour circuit, how much money y'all gonna give these people who are already wealthier than y'all? Because, like they said, first of all, her people got some PPE money, and we need
to go look up and see if she got some PPP money. Go ahead and Google that right now. Let's see if she got some PPP money from her business.
Okay,
but you don't want no government, but you don't want the government to do nothing for you. The government is the problem, but you're going to apply for the PPP? Girl, bye. Stop it.
Well, she did get some previous money because, of course, the timing of when she got that money and the amount that was subsequently donated to her her campaign was coincidental. Let's say that. Anyway, but so I don't want to know how many times they're gonna just pay these people to continue to like how are you poor and you're paying rich people to hear stupidity that A, you can hear for free, but B, like they keep telling you how anti-government you should be, how they're draining the swamp, all of this stuff that they keep telling you, and like they are epitomizing all that stuff. It's I don't get it.
Well, anyway, speaking of Cheney out. So one Liz Cheney has said, I'm going to tell the truth. She said, I said what I said. I'm going to stand firm in my word and I'm going to walk my talk. And that's what she continues to do. And so she was voted out of her leadership position within the Republican caucus. I say job well done. I will say that I am not surprised that they got another woman to be the flunky, for lack of a better term. And because that's how they do, she does, a woman who, as long as she toting the party line, even though her voting record is not as like right wing as Liz, and even though her support of Donald Trump was not as right wing as Liz, she still, because she has chosen to verbalize the lie, she is now in that position. And all I'm going to say is, women, stop it. And where are the other Republican women? And not many of you there. But for you all to allow it to go down like this, shame on you. Shame. So
there's nothing else to say. Look, first of all, let me be very clear. My heart is not going to bleed for Liz Cheney.
Of course not. My heart ain't bleeding for her, no, girl. No, ma'am.
But
when you stand on the truth, when you speak the truth is the truth.
Right. Well, not only when you speak the truth is the truth. I think it's just very interesting that, again, there are so many Trump supporters, right, who are anti-Liz Cheney because she is against Donald Trump, but yet she's more conservative than the woman that they put in place. And so that's where it goes back to the question, are you a Republican because of your conservative values, or are you a Republican for your loyalty to Donald Trump, i.e. your desire to be a despicable human being?
It seems like the desire to be a despicable human being is winning.
Yes, because at this stage, listen, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again, and I guess if I ever run for political office, this will come back to bite me. But at this stage of the game, I don't know how you see and hear all of the things that Donald Trump has done and said about so many groups of people. The accusations of, rape and sexual assault, the folks he's hung out with, i.e. the Epstein and Ghislaine, whatever her name is. You see all of that, and you still try to convince yourself that it's about your conservative values. That it really just doesn't reconcile. It just doesn't. So it's not about your conservative values. It is about following a demigod. It is about being a supporter of Donald Trump. And if that is the Republican Party now, then people need to be very honest with why they're in there. Because otherwise, and I'm not even talking about the Trumps, the other people need to be honest about, well, why are you still in there? Mm-hmm. And I would say the same thing even for the Democratic Party. At some point, we need to have some real clear branding here.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I don't know how grown adults even take these labels and mantras and ride with it. So, Rosalind, I'm going to just let that land right there. Jeffrey says, probably didn't help Liz's case that she is LGBTQ in a party that does not have that group's best interest as part of their platform. Well,
she was. I thought her sister was. I thought she actually was against her sister. I thought it was the other one. I'll look it up. Continue.
You can look it up and continue, but we ain't even talk about that other one named Caitlyn. We'll get there on another day. No, that ain't what we said for hot topics. Wasn't talking about Caitlyn tonight. We gonna save Caitlyn for another time. But this last thing, CDC guidance. So let's make it clear, since everybody won't be confused and act like, oh, they don't know what they're gonna do. The guidance is for people who've been vaccinated. If you haven't been vaccinated, you need to wear a damn mask, period. If you have been vaccinated, them non-vaccinated people ain't gonna do right. So you wear your mask around them too. Okay, how about that? It's really that simple. Those of us who are fully vaccinated, we got a little more freedom, a little more, okay? And if we do have the virus and we test positive and we like an asymptomatic carrier or really have a really mild case, that's what the vaccine is supposed to do. It's supposed to prevent you from dying or having a severe case of the disease. So it sounds like the vaccine is working like it's supposed to work, but people ain't gonna act right. So you act right, because if you vaccinated, you already acting right. And that's my opinion. And yes, do I have vaccine? What is it called? Am I acting like privileged or If I'm
Is it
snobbish
back
about
to
it,
prisons now?
if I'm snobbish about it, yeah, I'm gonna be snobbish about it. How about that? That's how I feel. Period. Point blank. So
Well,
that's guidance.
I was just going to say, first of all, yes, it's Mary Cheney, the younger daughter, who is gay. Liz actually did speak out against her sister. So she, like I said, she's even more conservative than most of them. Say definitely the chick that got the job. But anyway,
Because even her daddy accepted his daughter. Like, dang, you gonna accept your sister, girl? Dang.
right? How you going coming out against your sister? But anyway, so with regards to the CDC guidance, listen here, folks. First of all, if you're fully vaccinated, you are probably not one of the people saying I ain't gonna wear my mask, because at this point you're like, hey, it's like I don't know, when you get a new car or something, and then you like, well, I gotta go get it washed every day because I gotta make sure it stay looking good, whatever. If you fully vaccinated, you like, I gotta keep doing what I was doing before because I gotta fight off all these germs and all this other stuff. So listen, this, I could be wrong. I'm not a medical professional, but I have found that I have not had to deal with the cold like I've dealt with it in the past. I've not had to deal with any flu type symptoms. I am good wearing a mask. Mm-hmm. I feel like people prior to this pandemic, it was a lot of folks who did not understand social distancing before it was a word. They did not understand why you just like to have a little bit of a parameter around your body that they should not get into. I'm always been I always have had a problem with buffets. The buffets, I don't care for too much. So that being said, I think that I'm gonna keep wearing the mask just on GP of my own health, and like all the people who are teachers and stuff, right? If you ain't got sick this last year because you ain't had to go around like little kids, things like that, like why wouldn't you want that to just continue?
Continue. So, like I said, some of y'all nasty and germy, so I'm gonna keep doing my mask thing. And if you say something to me, my name is not AOC. I might pop off. How about that, Marjorie? Anyway,
Mad Match.
Let's get to what we came here for today. So, last week I was traveling back here to the state of Florida from one sunny state to another. And so we had a little Mother's Day hiatus. But we did an interview with our father last year on Father's Day. So we said this year we need to have a conversation with our mother for Mother's Day, but the traveling kind of didn't work out. So we are here today and we are very excited to welcome to Hey Sister for the first time as a guest, our mother. Welcome, Mother. Hey.
Hey, sisters. How y'all doing?
We doing good. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Are you nervous?
I'm sorry.
What'd you say, sister?
I said, are you nervous?
No, no.
Okay, good.
Okay, good. Well, we glad you're not nervous.
Mm-hmm.
She already told us in the pre-show, don't make her cry, y'all. So I don't know if that's gonna happen or not, but if it does happen, it's all to the good because this is Hey Sister and we about real conversations, right? And so we're so excited to have you with us tonight. And so what we first want you to do is tell us a little bit about your story. What we know that the people don't know is that you've been doing a whole lot of research and genealogy stuff to get further and deeper into the story of your family. But we now have time to go into all of that tonight. But just talk about you as Lois Charles Hill. Tell us a little bit about your story.
Okay, my name is Lois Charles Hill. I'm one of 13 children born to Octave and Eunice Charles Celestine. I'm the fifth child. And my mom said she only wanted 4. So I was like, okay, I'm out. But what happened to the rest of them? So coming up as a child, I realized that I never stayed home with the rest of the family. I was always gone. I was babysitting for other people from the time that I can remember, probably 10, 11 years old, up until I was about 17. I was always with a family, looking out, I guess, nurturing other people's children. And I had my brothers. I had seven brothers, 6 brothers after me, and of course, I was a big sister to all of them. And my brothers and I, especially my brother Clyde, we would go hunting and fishing together. I built the little snare traps to catch birds, and that was something for us to eat. And we would go fishing, and of course we would catch our fish and come home, and that was also something for us to eat.
Mhm.
I started working as soon as I can get my Social Security card, because if you worked and you didn't have a Social Security card, you worked under someone else's Social Security card. You worked on their card. So I always went to the factory, the shrimp factory where we lived down the bayou. I'm from Grand Caillou, which is about 59 miles from the Gulf of Mexico. So we would go to the shrimp factory in the evening, and I would work with my mom on her card. And of course, I'm sure she was breaking them heads and filling the bucket more than I was, but I expected half of her check because I felt that it was 50-50. And my oldest brother, Octave, uh, a lot of times when my mom had to work and what have you, he was in charge. And I was a very active child. I just would always be running and playing and having fun. And he would always tell me I needed to stop running, stop playing. And if not, he was going to chastise you, which he did. My brother Wilford, um, they called him Money. I don't know why, but they say because he always had money. So I guess that's a good nickname for him. And I had a sister called Wilbur. Her name is Wilburine, but we call her Mamu because she was the oldest. And everything was Mamu, Mamu, Mamu. Even in school, Mamu looked after me because by the time I got to the first grade, she was probably in the 6th grade or so. No, she was in the 8th grade maybe. And she would always look after me. And my sister Rochelle, uh, that's a different story, a different breed all in itself. Um, Again, after that, I had my brother Marlo, Leo, Arnold, and Ronald. And with Ronald, his godparents wanted him to come and live with them. And he said he didn't want to go because he didn't want to leave home. So I said, well, man, I'll go with you. And I lived with him and his godmother and godparents. They looked after him. And after that is Trudy and Rudy. And my little sister Trudy said I was mean, very mean. She wanted me to go back where I came from. But I told her I apologize. I was only a child too. So that's pretty much it.
Okay. All right. Well, we got a lot of hellos. So Lena says, hey, Mama Hill. You got Rosalind says, hi, Miss Hill. Jody says, hey, Mama. Felicia says, hey, Queen Mother. Miss Murray Dennis says she's so glad to see this interview. Yeah, she said, you're wonderful. You've given so much to the community. You're always there for the Girl Scouts and has been a friend to me since with the Red Cross and with the Bayou Country Children's Museum there. Jackie says, Mama's absolutely beautiful. And Allison Wright Swanson says, hi, Mrs. Hill. So Everybody's
Allison out here who we were walking with.
yeah.
Oh, okay, my friend. Hey.
Yes.
Well, all you guys are my friends. I mean, I'm not trying to show favoritism.
And then Keisha says, "You're so beautiful." Hello, Mrs. Hill. So thank you for telling us, telling really the audience, because we kind of know that part of the story about you growing up on the bayou. So I would tell people, well, when they watched Princess and the Frog, when they said they were singing about going down the bayou, I was like, that was kind of like the real life. We spent a lot of time going down the bayou for sure. And so tell us a little bit more about, like you said, you always were gone, and nurturing other people. Where do you think you got that nurturing spirit from?
I really don't know where I could have acquired it from. Maybe it's something that I wanted. I wanted to be nurtured, and in order to get love, you got to give love. So maybe I was just wanting to give me to everybody, you know. So, but maybe it just came natural.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Sister, toss it to you. You're on mute though.
Yes, I know that I'm on mute. All right. Well, Mother, you talking about for us not to make you cry. You try to make us cry. You know? So just pretend we're not your daughter. Just let's talk about how has it been being a mother and raising not one but two very
Different.
different daughters. Very different.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. What has it been like?
She took a deep breath just then.
Well,
who that deep breath for?
Well, being a mother, my first child, Demetria, actually made me a mother. And I became a mother just in time for Mother's Day. So I was able to celebrate my first Mother's Day right after I had Kitty. We lived at Full Poke, and of course, she was everything for me. Not only, it wasn't like a little doll. It was really a person that I was responsible for.
Right.
And I had to feed, nurture, change, do everything for her except breathe. And I wanted to make sure that she had everything that she needed. And I wanted her to have the best of everything in life that I could give to her. But as time went on and she grew up, her personality, she developed into her own person. And her personality, I'm not going to say it's like mine or like her dad. She's a unique child. And I did my best with her, and I tried to give her, like I said, everything that I didn't have as a child coming up in a family of 13 children. You didn't have very much. So I wanted her to have everything that I never had or never could dream of. So 3 years later, I had my little girl, Chrissy. Well, Chrissy, I called her mom because when she was born, her little jaws was like this. I mean, I was like, God, you look like my mom. So
well, tell them why I looked like your mom at that time.
She looked like my mom because my mom had her teeth pulled and her little face was swollen. And Christina had the little jaws like that. So for some reason, I just started calling her mom, and I I just called her mom. And of course, I was working at the time. I could only take the 6 weeks off for maternity leave. And when I went back to work, I had my mom to come and live with us to take care of her while I worked. But Chrissy was sick, and she had, high fever. And it wouldn't come on till at night. She would have fever and temperature at night where we had to bring her to the emergency room and what have you. But she got so sick one night, we brought her to the emergency room and they had to admit her to the hospital. So when they admitted her, all I could say is, Lord, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? Because my baby is sick and I tried to do everything I could for her. But she had pneumonia. And thank God he brought her through. She stayed in the hospital for over a week, but she came out. But that day when I came home from work and I came home and my mom, she was holding her. And she said, she doesn't want to eat. She said she don't have the strength to suck her bottle. And I was like, really? And she said, she looks like she's dying to me. And I said, oh, Mom, I'm going to have to bring her to the hospital. And that's what we did. And she stayed with Demetria there while we went to the hospital. And I had to stay at the hospital for her. And they put her under the oxygen tent and what have you. But God brought her through. And I thank God for that. Again, a total different personality. Chrissy could be in her own little world and be just as happy as a little Lord. Demetria didn't need no attention. I even didn't need attention or didn't want attention. I don't know. But I tried to give them all attention. And with Miss Murray talking about the little Girl Scout, where that was the first, organization that Demetria belonged to. And of course, I wanted to support my children. She also had this little, it was the reader or something. I had to go out and solicit people to support and to contribute to it because she had to read so many books and what have you. But she won. Mm-hmm. She won. Christina went on to dance. She said, Mom, I want that trophy. I want to get that big trophy. I want to win. I said, oh, okay. So, of course, I went out and begged my co-workers, everybody. And she won her first prize trophy that she wanted to win. But nonetheless, I love my children. I love both of my little girls. And I just want them to know that I did everything I could as a mom.
Okay. All right. Take a deep breath. Take a nice deep breath and blow it out. So now that you've raised your daughters, you have grandchildren. So tell us about that transition for you from being a mother to a grandmother.
Now you really gonna make her cry because you know.
No, my boy. That wasn't really a transition. I could think it more of a transition for you. You had to go through that. I'm happy that you had to go through labor. And I'm wishing that my youngest child go through this labor too, so she could see what it's like. But
Mama, I done seen it on TV. It looks exact. It is all that I think it is. I have seen it on television.
No, you ain't felt it though.
I know, and I feel like I don't have to feel it.
Yes, you do. Yeah, you do. You got to feel it. You haven't felt it yet. But the day that my little boy was born, I was at work and Cleveland called me and said, Demetria is in labor and I'm going to book your flight. So I went on, left work and caught the plane and went on to Georgia. And my little boy was born. And I
Not Georgia.
He was born in Georgia?
Texas.
Pflugerville, huh?
Yes, Austin.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Austin. Pflugerville. Yeah, Austin. I'm sorry. Kitty, the other one was in Georgia. Yeah. But to see him, my God, it's like mirroring yourself. To see him, he looked just like Kitty when she was born. I mean, the spitting image, the little hair slicked down, the complexion, everything he resembled.
I think this is my first time hearing that because, of course, everybody sees him, and of course, it's like the spitting image of Jeff. So this is my first time hearing that he looked like Kitty as a baby, but continue.
Oh no. He looks just like Kitty. Kitty, I told you that too, right? That he looked. Oh, I said, Kitty, he looks just like you. He looks just like. He looked just like Kitty, and then she put him in his little Winnie the Pooh outfit to take his pictures and stuff. But no, for Jazz, I didn't go for the birth or anything. We went a few days after to Georgia to see her.
Well, because she came on her own time. That's why.
That's it.
I remember Jasmine decided she was
We
coming.
were having the surprise party for Jeff, remember?
Yeah, but Jazz was already born when we had the party.
Right. She came, we were planning to have the surprise birthday party for Jeff, and she decided that she was going to come early.
Because she wanted to be at the party.
And she was. She was a few days old at the party. The joy of having the little man, and I always tell him he's my favorite grandson. And he's like, Granny, I'm your only grandson. I said, that's why you're my favorite. So, but I love my grandkids equally. I basically quit my job to go and help my daughter with the children while they both was pursuing their careers and trying to work and establish themselves. And that was one of the hardest things I had to do, I think, in my life, because I had just graduated from college. I had earned my bachelor's degree, and I received a job working with Lafourche in my field in child, family, and social services. And I just said, if you could just give me 3 more years, I'll be ready to retire. But I had to pray, and God said, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. So I went on, and I went back and forth to Florida, maybe over 10 years, it seemed like, taking care of the grandkids, bringing them to school, walking with Jazz, and watching them develop into the little people that they are today.
Yep.
Oh, go ahead, sister.
I said, yep, and your little man's about to graduate high school.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
So I was just gonna say, you touched on it a little bit, that you had just graduated from college. So tell us a little bit more about that, or tell the people a little bit more about that your journey. Because one thing that Kitty always says is she remembers you always being in school, in some sort of school. And, oh, okay, Mom, where are we going?
My battery saying it's going down, so I have to plug it in.
Okay, well, this is
sorry about that. I didn't want to.
No worries. That's the but I was gonna say, yeah, and we know that you've done also other non-traditional types of schools. You've done EMS, you've done travel school, and all of those things. But you finally got your college degree in 2005. Tell us about that journey.
Well, I from a child, playing down the bayou and playing with the mop heads, braiding the hair and doing all that. My first goal, I wanted to be, I guess, a cosmetologist. I really enjoyed makeup and hair and styling. And then when I got to high school, I wanted to do PE. I wanted to be a PE teacher because I love PE. I love everything about PE, being active and just being physically active and being able to do the things that the little timid girls, I guess, they couldn't do. But I always wanted to get a degree. And I said, in order to get someplace in life, you have to have a degree. You have to have some kind of skill. So going on through school and through the process of taking care of other people's children, I lived with Alberta Verdun, and Cleveland Verdun. I lived with her for years because her husband had left her and I was helping take care of the kids. And she left to go. When her husband left, he came back to get her and the kids, and he had moved to California. And when she left, she told me, she said, "I'm going, baby, but I don't know where I'm going. But if I go and everything's good, I'm coming back and I'm going to get you." And I said, "Oh, okay." Never thought anything about it. That December, she came back and she got me, and I attended Centennial High School in Compton, California. I I was there for about 3 years with them, and when my uncle died, my sister had gotten married. She had had a baby, and I was missing home. And I said, "I got to go home. I can't." So I left my senior year of high school, actually, and I returned home, and I got there. I saw everybody. I was happy. And then I was like, this ain't for me. I graduated, and I said, "I got to go back." And I said, I'm coming back. And I started Compton Junior College, and I attended there for a semester and a half, and then I returned back to Louisiana. But I still wanted my degree. In 1972, I was married, and I met my husband at Nichols. I met Cleveland in 71 when I started, and we got married in November of 72. And I had Demetri in 73. And I said, well, I still want my college degree. I continued to take classes over the courses of years and years and years. In between time, like you said, I attended travel school in Florida. I received my certificate there. I wanted to be a flight attendant. And then it was like they said, "You're 10 pounds overweight." I wasn't but a stick anyway, but I said, "Oh, okay." So I like give that up. I'm still searching and trying to find myself. Continued on, still taking college classes, only taking one or two classes at a time during the semester. And through the process, I still had to work full time. I had a child. I had a second child. I said, I still want that degree. I want that degree. So after all those years, in 1999, I received my associate degree. And I said, oh, okay, well, this is good. My daughter and I said, well, I owe this one to you, Mom, to Christina. But I said, because you listen, you help me, get. I said, this is yours. And she's like, no, Mom, you earned it. I was like, no, you did it. So in 2005, I continued on working full time for Lafourche Parish School Board, and they did allow you to go to school at that time. And I continued on with my schooling. In 2005, I received my bachelor's degree in family and consumer science. And my daughter received her master's degree. And I said, oh, wow, you earned this one as well. So I said, well, Chrissy, if you go back and get your doctorate, I'll go and I'll get my master's. So she said, okay, I got enough education. I said, well, I guess I give up.
I didn't say I had enough education. I just said, yeah, I got to see the benefit of spending some more money to get a doctorate degree. Because right now, yeah, I would have to see the financial benefit of doing so. But I'll get it. I'll get on it in the next few years, and so you can go on ahead and go back and get your master's.
Oh Lord, now you're really gonna be pushing it, baby. But it's not impossible. It's not impossible. So through it all, the main thing is that education, and I try to instill into my daughters that education. You got to get your education, no matter what. I want you guys to get an education. And we went on. Demetria received hers, and Chrissy received her master. Kitty received her master's. And everybody in the house had an education but mom. So she's like, okay, I can't let them all do me. I got to get mine too. So I thank God that He allowed me the opportunity to continue on and to achieve that goal. And I'm proud of myself for that. And I
As,
just wish
as you should be. Yes,
that
you should be.
I just wish that my mom and dad could have seen
Mhm.
me.
Yeah, understand that. I definitely
And I
understand.
trust that they did.
I trust that they did too.
But I trust that they did.
Absolutely. So, all right. I mean, man. So you talked about your mom and dad. So tell us a little bit more about your mom and your dad and being a daughter. You talked about raising daughters, but talk about being a daughter.
I don't know. I guess I was just a little confused person. I um I just was a happy child, similar to Christina. I played and talked to myself, and played and create little creatures as well, and enjoyed my childhood. I was the fifth child out of 13. My mom and dad, my dad used to actually, we all would get together and we would study the Bible. We would have Bible stories and we had to learn a poem. We had to learn something to say uh, at each one of our sessions. So we had to recite it in front of everybody. And we all was proud of everything we did. My dad worked hard. I never knew or can count or visualize a day that he stayed home sick. 90% of the time he didn't have a vehicle. He hitchhiked from down the bayou to Homer, which was over 15 miles to work. He would hitchhike every day. He would go to work, and when he would buy a little car, it wouldn't be anything newer. It would always be a secondhand vehicle. But my dad would always refer to me as his baby girl when he introduced me to people. He would say, "This is my baby girl," and I was like, "No, I'm not the baby. My little sister is the baby," because my little sister came 10 years after I was born. She came 10 years later. With my mom, that I guess I wanted more or expected more, but she can only give what she could give. And we didn't have a good time coming up. We had a rough time coming up. But as I got older, a lot older, uh, my mom entrusted everything to me. And when she said, "I'm giving you my power of attorney, I want you to handle all of our business and to take care of everything," and I was like, "Why? I'm not the oldest child. I'm not the oldest. Why are you giving this to me?" So I had to accept it as it is. She said a mother knows her children. So I took that on and I did everything for my mom and my dad to make sure that they were going to be comfortable. I made sure that she had money that she could spend and do whatever she liked. And I made sure that all her bills were paid and that she had food in her house. So I made sure in her final days that she had the best of what she needed. I made sure of that.
Mhm. Okay. All right. Woo! Okay, we trying to keep it together here. So, so tell us about what's next for you. So we know this is a milestone year. Oh, come on, you got to have something. You ain't done yet. So this is a milestone birthday year.
Oh, I forgot about that. But yeah, but yeah, that I really don't. I thank the Lord for everything that He has brought me to and through. My um, priorities. I've gotten everything. I guess there's more, but I'm not asking. Whatever you allow me to have, I thank you for it. But I'm not in need of anything, but asking you for my health and my strength. And most of all, I just want to keep my mental stage about me. I just don't want to lose my mind. So that I can see my little boy have a baby. That's what I'm looking for now.
Okay. Jody asks, any more Queen Sugar appearances?
I think they should be off for this season now. They should be gone. I only did 2 this year because COVID set in, and I got called back to come for Queen Sugar and Claus. If you guys didn't see Claus, the first 2 episodes, but I didn't want to jeopardize my husband or myself by going out and being around a crowd of people. So I didn't do any more of the Queen Sugar appearance. Now for next, I'm trying to do, I sent in a casting application for, they're going to do what they call crawdads in Houma. They're going to be filming. So I sent in my casting profile for that.
So any aspirations to become an actress? Are you just okay?
Lakeisha said you do have that actress swag.
I don't.
So you just want to stay in behind, like an extra in the background. You don't want to pursue any roles out in front.
Speaking roles or anything?
Listen, children. If it's for me, it's for me. I was given a stand-in for in Queen Sugar for Ada as they were in the courtroom. I was and I had no clue what a stand-in did. I just thought you just stood in. But they gave me a whole script, which I shared with Christina. They gave me the script and everything, and I was like, okay. So I'm waiting and waiting. I'm standing, and my little person standing next to me. And I was just waiting so that I could say my lines. And then my partner, he said, she just said the lines, which was the director, because I'm standing up there all straight and proper and waiting for my line. And the line was, it's enough. It's enough. I know it's enough. And I was like, damn, I could have did that. I missed my chance. But my friend, I have a friend that I worked also in radio. I was working at KXOR in Thibodaux, Louisiana.
He's watching tonight. He said he loves the frame. Very nice. So he's watching tonight.
Yeah, well, I was working with my boy there in at KBZ in Thibodaux, and he feels that he said they like you on Queen Sugar because when he saw the episodes in that one chapter that was 3 different scenes that I was in, he said they really like you. You're gonna get a speaking role. So if it is for me, and I told him you speaking that and it's for me, then by God's grace.
I told you the same thing.
You did too, Mom? Oh.
Yes, I did.
Well,
because we said, remember I said, if anybody's you gonna go there, and because I know how you gonna talk to everybody, and I said, and you gonna go there and be the one to get a role, and you not even trying, because let's face it, what you met Niecy Nash and talked to her.
Yeah, Niecy is a down to earth young lady. She really is, because yeah, in Claus, yeah.
And then really you met Ralph Angel.
Yeah, Ralph Angel is a nice little guy too.
Kofi Cerubi.
Yeah.
Real name, but yes.
Yeah. He allowed me to take a picture with him, so he was really, really nice. And like I said, Niecy is really down to earth as well. So, and it don't hurt.
You said maybe you should go on Big Frida. Is that still a show?
I don't think it's still a show.
I don't know. I don't know if they actually solicit people. to be on there?
I don't know. But I'm laughing because if she knew you back in the day, maybe she sees you have that bounce vibe about you.
Okay. Well, coming up as a child, I'm telling you, we would fight. I would fight every
Well,
day.
not the fight, bounce, the
Oh,
bounce
You
music.
mean it's like
The
dancing and stuff like that?
bounce.
oh, okay. Because I thought you meant, you know.
No, not box. Bounce, the bounce music.
I heard what you say, bounce, but I had the box.
Okay.
So yeah, I got you. But working with my former manager there at KXR, he's a good man as well. Very down to earth, very very nice young man. But and I didn't go there looking for a job. I was working for LaFourche Parish School Board, and I was on the switchboard. So when they had to call in for prizes, I would always call in. I would win them tickets to the movie, win the T-shirts. I would always win. So I was going over to pick up my prize, and he said, "Well, what you do?" I said, "I'm a receptionist." He said, "Oh, well, I'm gonna have an opening. Would you be interested in it?" I said, "I don't know how to. All I could do is greet people. I don't know how to do nothing else, you know." And he's like, "Well, you can greet people here." So I said, "Oh, okay, you know." And he gave me an opportunity, and of course, I was in sales as well. So I had to do a few sales. I also did a couple of little commercials and things like that. But it was good. It was good.
Mhm.
So is there anything, so we talked about your education journey, of course, and we know that you've reinvented yourself throughout your career as well. But is there anything that you wanted to do that you didn't get a chance to do? And why not?
I really wanted to be that airline stewardess. That's what they used to call me. I wanted to be a flight attendant. And I knew that I could carry a tray and coffee, tea. I could do that. And I wanted to travel, you know. So, but when they told me that, that kind of turned me turned me around. You know, people can destroy you with their words.
Mhm.
So that kind of turned me around. And I didn't pursue that anymore. Um,
But I do remember us studying, and I remember Luxembourg for a
uh,
long.
LUX, yes.
Yes.
I had to learn all of those codes to every
Yeah.
airport and things like that. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And of course, like you said, I worked at Sears and Roebuck in Houma for 14 years. And of course, they were downsizing the people that had been there over 10 years because it was, I guess, getting a little costly because people was holding on to their jobs.
Mhm.
And they had a person to come in to actually root people out. And I just, I guess I'm not going to say didn't take anything off anybody, but I'm not going to let people talk to me any kind of way. And I work myself
Guess your
around.
kids get that honestly.
Yeah, you have to, if you do, you definitely get it honestly. I had started in Sears and Dimitri was like 14 months old, and I didn't go for that job either. My sister went to the unemployment office and she asked me to come and go with her. And I went with her and then she, well, why don't you fill in the application? So I said, okay, yeah. And I did. And so they did the interview and they was like, well, we selected you. And I said, are you sure? You sure you don't want the other sister? Because she's the one that needs the job. And he said, no, we want you. And I was like, oh my God. So I didn't have a car, nothing. So I had to use my sister's vehicle to get back and forth. And of course, the personnel manager lived down in Dulac and she would give me a ride to work and what have you. But I started off part time, 10, 12 hours a week, and Draper and Linen department. From there, I went to the lingerie department, and that was still part-time. And from there to the houseware and sporting goods, where I worked under Pauline Dilly, which was a great lady to me. And we developed a very good friendship. I got pregnant with Christina, and she actually gave me a baby shower, and I thought that was very, very nice of her. And from there, they promoted me to the painting and electrical department. I was department manager there. And of course, I did my job. From there, they promoted me to the furniture department. And from there, after being the manager of the furniture department, they promoted me to what I call big ticket sales, to the appliance department where we sold big ticket sales. And in 80, I was making over $30,000 a year, and I thought that was very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
So in sales, you were selling.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess whatever I was selling, they was buying. So
For
I
sure.
sold what I needed to sell, because hey, I see a new pair of shoes, a new dress, whatever. But most of all, I was just honest with the people, and I did my job.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, this has been a lovely conversation. There is more to be told, more that, I mean, you were kind of reserved. You didn't say it all, so I appreciate that about you. But there's definitely more stories to be told, and we're gonna have to work on you getting all of your stories out, because I do believe that the stories could motivate and inspire others. So anything you want to say to the folks in closing tonight, Mom?
Well, you say more to my story. I had a brother that was incarcerated, and he was wrongfully convicted. He served 18 years in Angola. I stayed beside my brother those 18 years, not knowing what the future would hold, but I knew that we prayed and we believed in God, and He answered our prayers. He allowed my brother to be free, and he came home. And that was a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Also, with my family, I have been the president of our family reunion committee for the past 30, almost 40 years now. And doing the family reunions and meetings, and they all call and look up to me to continue to lead them. But I'm saying, I'm ready to let some of you younger ones to take up this torch, and you guys lead the way. I'm still because my mom gave me that power of attorney, which died when she died. But as far as handling the family business, I'm still having to do that as well. But what I want to say in closing, the most important thing is that I love my daughters. I love both of you. And all I want for you is the best that you can want for yourself. I want you to go for Demetra, know that her grandmother wanted her to be a doctor. She called her Dr. Kitty. And for Christina would come that first, I don't know where, it might have not been the first year, but she was singing this little song to Mama Dear that was Mother. M is for the many things she do, O is for something, and CHER. And my mama was like, whoa, sing it again, Chrissy. So, my mama loved my children. She had to take care of both of them while I worked. So I thank God that He give me whatever He give me, the strength, whatever encouragement that I need from people to push me forward. I thank God for that as well. I thank God for my husband, because he has to tolerate me with my dysfunctional family that's behind me. Because trust me, coming from a family of a whole lot of people, and sometimes I talk real loud and they say, well, why are you yelling? Why are you hollering? Well, when you're in a household full of cheering and people, everybody want to be heard. Hey, it's me. It's my turn. Everybody is trying to be heard. So we all have a tendency to talk real loud. And I thank you all for allowing me to be a part of your program this afternoon. I don't know what else you would want me to say or do for you, but you know that I'm your mom and I'm here whenever you need me. You just have to call me.
Absolutely. All right, sister, what do you want to say in closing to the folks or to your mom?
Well, Mother, I would like to thank you for being on our show. As we said at the top of the hour, or maybe I don't remember if she said it or not. We weren't able to do this as an official Mother's Day show on last Sunday, and we had originally said that we were going to tape it so that we could have a robust conversation, but we still had a very robust conversation. And of course there is so much more to your story because there's so much more to you. I want to thank you for always being a huge fan of your children. At the end of the day, you believe that we can do things that we don't always believe that we can do. And we certainly appreciate that. Everybody's commenting about, a mother's love. And I know that it ain't always been easy with these two daughters that you have. I know that they have caused you some pain and frustration over the years, but I feel like I am blessed and just proud and happy to be able to say that there is a point in your life where your mother, you transition from it just being mother and daughter to being friends. And I do count you as one of my best friends. So I love you and thank you for joining us.
Oh, Lord. Y'all trying to make me cry, but y'all not going to make me cry tonight. Now, thank you all for watching. We have some comments.
Did you ever get a whipping? You got beat, huh? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we like I said, there's more stories to be told, people. Don't. But a mother's love is displayed to the fullest. My heart is full. Colleen is watching. She said, yes, give her flowers. Give mom her flowers now. What a blessing. Mr. Robert Payne says, great show today. Lakeisha said, just going back to school and getting that degree says a lot. That this is an inspiration for all who think it's too late. And so what I want to say in closing is, everybody, thank you for tuning in, Mom. So as I shared with you, as my closing keynote for my conference, I talked about you. So you'll go and listen to it. I know it was a little hard to hear, but you'll go and listen to that. But, you've always been a leader. You probably don't count yourself as a leader, but you always have been a leader. Like Lakeisha said, going back to school, persevering, for standing by your, but not just beside your family, in front of, behind, and on the side. Like, it didn't matter who, you're always standing next to, in front of, or behind someone in your family. And that alone is what leaders do. So you may not count yourself as a leader for having a title or a position, but you have always been leading in every area of your life. And we thank you for being an example of a role model, of a leader, and of what, a real stand-up woman is. Does that mean you're perfect? No. Does that mean you have yeah, we all have flaws. We all can talk loud. We all like, as we talk about in Sunday school every week, right? We all fall short. But you always show up authentic. Mm-hmm. You always show up authentically. And so I appreciate that. And although you told me I could always speak my mind, but just not to you, you teaching me I could always show up authentically, no matter what the situation, no matter who the audience is, no matter where I go, I could always be authentic and walk in that. And that is a blessing in and of itself, to give your children that type of freedom. So I appreciate you for that. And I thank you for that. So with that being said, don't hang up the line yet, Mom, but we're going to wave goodbye to everybody else and say good night, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to Hey Sister, and we'll see you next week.
Bye. Surprise.